tips, because there are some things that we do that make this so much easier to be successful. So first of all, I want to tell you to, I hope that you've gotten a chance to go over all the products and the kit with your coach. If not, that's kind of what this video is for, but I really hope you did. So you have your products, you have your kit in front of you. You see that there's a pinned packet on the top of this page. That is actually going to be your guide. There's a guide that comes in the box. It's a great guide, but I want you to follow the one we do. We actually coach the keto plan, and it's a lot more successful, and we have people that the food is just better. We eat better. We live in the Midwest. We eat beef, we eat bacon, we eat eggs. It's going to happen. So the ketosis plan is awesome for that. So check that out in the pinned packet up top, and I can also post that food plan in the comments after I'm done. So be looking for that. So first thing I want to tell you about your first 8 days. We don't count calories. We only count carbs. However, we do have to make sure that you're eating enough. So make sure that when the schedule tells you to eat, that you are eating. Don't skip meals. The products will make you not hungry. Use those craving controllers to only prevent you from eating sugars and carbs. You don't want to keep you from eating food. You've got to eat food. This isn't a starvation diet. So we're going to be counting your carbs. You want to stand at 25 net carbs a day. So that means carbs minus fiber. For instance, romaine lettuce has about, for 2 cups, I think it has 4 carbs, but it has 3 grams of fiber. So that's 1 net carb per serving. So that's all you're going to count. MyFitnessPal is a really handy dandy way to track that. But you might want to kind of go search through this page. Tabby Wolf did a video on MyFitnessPal on how to use it, and it's really handy. Good morning, Melissa. So make sure you check that out. Second of all, if you're hungry, anytime in between your meals and snacks, it's okay to snack on protein. So cheese, hard-boiled eggs, a little bit of beef jerky, those kinds of things. Those are really handy because they have 0 carbs and they're not going to throw you off your track. Make sure though that you're not eating things that are super carby. You know, sometimes the beef jerky, I guess, can be carby depending on if it has sauce or not. So make sure that if you're, eating that you're counting the carbs. Third of all, on your very first 8 days, it's good to know in the morning with your zing, start with 1 zing and take it with a little bit of food. I highly recommend this. I love my zing. It's my very favorite product, but you want to make sure that you're taking it with a little bit of food. So I recommend cheese stick, hard-boiled egg, something like that. You can take it with your shake, but I do recommend a little bit of food as well, because zing is awesome, but you want to try it with food for the first time. You can have coffee on the 8 days. Coffee is my friend. I've never given up coffee for anything. But I will tell you, when I do this, I don't need as much coffee. So I tend to drink maybe 1 to 2 cups. And if you're caffeine sensitive, I highly recommend you go to hot tea or use decaf, because our products do have a little bit of caffeine in them. It's a really high quality caffeine though. It's not a, and there's not a lot in there, but it's a really high quality, great. So there's that. Now, if you're going to use creamer in your coffee, make sure you're using heavy cream or half and half. Do not use those sweet creamers with artificial sweeteners. Those will actually throw you off. That brings me to my next tip, which is stay away from artificial sweeteners like aspartame, saccharin, those kinds. Sorry, my video disconnected for a second. Because those ones will actually create an insulin response in your body similar to sugars, and they will throw you off course. Because basically what we're wanting to do is we're wanting to turn your body into a fat burning machine, and we can't get you to start burning and breaking down fat if your body thinks it's still getting sugar. So by day 3 or 4, you should be completely run out of stored sugars and burning fats. So if you give it artificial sweeteners, such as thing that comes in Diet Coke and those kinds of things, it can actually create an insulin response in your body similar to sugar, so stay away from artificial sweeteners. Now, then, with that said, sometimes on day 3 or 4, when your body is running out of those stored sugars, you will have a sweet craving, a sweet tooth. It's not uncommon, because when your body runs out, it says, hello, give me some sugar, what are you doing to me? It doesn't want to not have sugar, it's easy to burn. So peanut butter and a little bit of Cool Whip can really help you get through that tough time. Those are my favorites to kind of trick yourself out. Also, our shake is great. There's a lot of different recipes, and it's also in the pin packet, so you can check that out. That can be very helpful. And then that's when you start testing for ketosis, is around days 3 to 5. Usually you'll be getting in slightly to, getting a little bit darker. But if you don't panic. Sometimes it takes people all the way through the 8 days. But basically that's just a test to tell you that your body is producing ketones and burning fat for energy. So you are a fat burning machine, and that's a pretty stinking cool thing. Next, no alcohol in the 8 days. Seriously, this is super important. I know that there are some low carb cocktails out there that you can, you think that might be fine. Alcohol in general, doesn't matter if it's low carb or not, turns into sugar and really slows down the process. Now, with that said, after you get past the first, couple of 8 days, we can add in low carb cocktailing. Get with your coach and see how they recommend it. I personally, if you've got good momentum and you're really losing good, I really recommend you don't drink a whole lot, because it will slow down the process. It turns your body into natural sugars, and it just slows down the metabolism. Is what alcohol does. But if you are going to, after a while, we've got some tips and things that you can get with your coach to figure out. Another great thing to make sure you do is to food prep. Food prep is really important. You don't, part of the biggest reason why people are successful is because they prepare. So make sure that you grocery shop, make sure you get with your coach. I know Deanie Roberts, she's an amazing coach. She goes with people to the grocery store and she helps them get their food and get started. So, your coach doesn't have to go with you, but make sure you get that really awesome grocery list and you have some food prepared. I like to grill chicken breasts. I like to have cans of tuna. I like to have vegetables chopped up in little baggies. I like to have my almonds, compartmentalized into a little baggie so I know exactly how many carbs are in each batch. Little things like that really help you be prepared and be successful. So in a pinch, when you're hungry, you don't make a bad decision, right? That's important. Also, you want to make sure that you take really good before pictures and that you measure. This is so crucial, because sometimes I have people come to me and they've been on the system for a month and they're like, for the last 10 days I haven't lost any weight. And I'm like, well, did you take before pictures? Mm-hmm. Did you measure? Yeah. Okay, well, let's go measure again and let's compare your before pictures to what you are now. And the difference is staggering. So make sure, because we're losing weight, yes, but muscle does weigh the same as fat. It's just less dense, and we are not deteriorating your muscle. We are burning the fat away. So we're burning that protective layer of fat off your body, and you're going to be losing inches and pounds, and that's really important to know. So your body might kind of seem like where it's hitting a stall, but it's actually burning inches because it's kind of cycle. So I really recommend that you journal this to keep track of it, because you're going to go in cycles of losing pounds and losing inches. And so in order to keep track of where your body's cycle is, it's important to know. So taking before pictures and measuring is highly important to seeing your success and knowing how your body's journey is coming along. So those are just some of my getting started tips. Also, for your shake, here's another great tip. Unsweet almond milk or unsweet cashew milk or unsweet coconut milk are my favorite ways to make the shake just by itself. I don't like it just with water. I mean, it's okay, but why would you do that when you can have the creaminess of cashew milk? Unsweet, of course. And then you can add, coffee crystals, or you can add, PB2 powder. You can add a lot of different things. My personal favorite is to add like a teaspoon of instant coffee, some ice, and a little cinnamon, and shake it up, and it's like a cafe latte in the morning. It's delicious, and it really helps get me going. I like to blend it up in the afternoon with a little bit of ice. There's a lot of different ways you can make it, so get creative and really enjoy your shake, because it is delicious. And another thing to know is you can switch your shakes and snacks around on the first 8 days. That's absolutely legal. You just want to make sure that if you're switching your evening shake for your evening meal, that your evening meal needs to be a little bit lighter. Don't have the bulk of your food at that evening meal. Try to have something light. So that's another good tip that'll help you. But people like to sit down and eat dinner with their family, and that's totally fine. So switch those shakes and snacks around. Just make sure that you take your cheat before you eat, but don't take Accelerate past 3 or 4 p.m. because it's got a little bit of caffeine in it and it might keep you up. So those are my tips for getting started on your very first 8 days, and I went into a little bit of continuation as well. I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask, and I'm really excited. Just make sure you take those pictures and you measure. So we'll see you soon.